Hello and welcome to another episode of Swim Sets by the Pool. This is the podcast where you get free swim workouts and tips on how to swim better. My name's Nathan Cohen. I'm a professional triathlete. With me, as always, is the Greg Harper, also professional triathlete. Greg, how you doing, man?
Nate, living the dream. I'm here at my local pool, as you see behind me. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, another day in the life of a pro triathlete. And how about yourself?
I'm doing good, man. I just came out of my off season. Not sure when we're gonna upload this episode, but as of recording this, I just came out of my off season. So this is my first week back training, just busting off the rust and feeling pretty good actually. I'm like really stoked to start training again, which is when I feel like you did the off season right. When you come back to it and you're like, I'm ready to go. So yeah.
Yeah, totally. And you'll probably feel good that first week, and yeah, it won't be till the second or third week where you're like, okay, now I'm feeling a little rough at times. But no, that's good to hear. And off season is important for anyone out there. You gotta get unfit to get fit, and we can't ride this super high level of fitness and even for your physical body, but also for your mentals. And if you're not enjoying the day to day, it's time to take a little step back, and then you can reset and be stronger.
Yeah, definitely. And I also was thinking about doing a 70.3 in December, Indian Wells, but I decided not to because I got E. coli from the swim in China. So I got super sick from that. I also crashed on the bike going 31 miles an hour. I think that's like 49 kph for all you Aussies out there. But yeah, my body was just not in a good place after those races. I'm like, no 70.3, straight to off season. Let's party. So that's what I
Smart,
did.
smart move. That's a smart move.
Yeah, that's my quick tip, you guys, is take care of yourselves. You can't always just push and push and push. And sometimes you have to actually know when it's okay to not do a race. And I see this so much with pros, but even age groupers. And I get it. It's hard because you prepare for this event, you have like in your mind for a while, like you want to do this thing. But if you're really not in a good place physically, like you're injured and you're like, oh, I could just push through, and it's like not something you should push through. Like it's gonna put you out for like even longer if you do that. I think you'll be happy with yourself more in the long run if you maybe took a little bit of time off to actually recover and then came back strong. Because like, man, I see these pros flying to all these races all over the world, crossing continents just to like DNF because they have this like run injury. And I'm just like, man, like they knew they had that going into it. And then they still like, yeah, it's rough. I have a lot of respect actually for Sam Laidlow. He pulled out of the T100 Dubai because he had some run injury and he wasn't trying to destroy himself. And
Yeah. No, that's fair. And yeah, I don't know how some people do it, to be honest, especially on that like short course scene and stuff. But you see people, they travel all year and they just slowly get a little bit worse all year a lot, and then you end up, yeah, hurt or injured. It's like you don't just get injured from training. You also get, the training obviously spurs the injury, but it's the travel, it's the stress, it's you're trying to push and your body's kind of biting back a little bit. And it's like, it's this tipping point. So, even sickness, you're like, oh, I got sick, it's out of my control. It's like, well, not always. Like we're all exposed to sicknesses a lot. We don't always get sick. And so if you get that sickness, then maybe yeah, we're a little bit over that line or something. I mean, E. coli is probably a little different, but
yeah, yeah.
it's like, yeah, it's all just so related. And yeah, especially for age groupers out there, it's you might see pros doing 30-hour weeks and you're like, oh, I want to do more, but it's like 12 might be the perfect number for you
Yeah.
in conjunction with the rest of your life, right?
Yeah. And in theme with all this recovery talk, we've got a recovery swim set for you guys. I know we've been giving you killer sets, just Olympic champion making swim workouts that you're just doing every single day up to your eyeballs in lactic acid. Well, this is a day where you can just chill out, swim a nice mellow 3K, And this is a set where, I mean, it kind of says it if you're looking at it on YouTube. Eat some ice cream after this. Eat some ice cream after this set and feel good. So yeah, Greg, what do you take us out with it?
Yeah, and just before we start, I mean, as a swim program, you got to have one or two of these a week. If you
Hmm.
swim 5 days, one day is really easy, maybe two. One day is like sort of medium, and a couple harder days. But yeah, it's just you can't go all the time. Unless you're a 14-year-old kid at an age group, swimming, you could probably go hard a lot, but not when you're an adult and you got other things going on. So the beginning of the set is a thousand skips, which is it's kind of old school. I feel like old school lingo. Skull, kick, IM, pull, swim, and the acronym is SKIPS. So it'd be a 200 of each. So 200 swim, 200 kick, 200 IM, 200 pull, 200 swim, and yeah, I mean it's a solid, yeah, kind of old school warm up, I'd say. Checks the boxes. I mean, for an easy day, you're just kind of moving through a few things. So yeah, I mean, no complaints there on my end.
Yeah, I think it's cool. And then yeah, 6x50 descend is solid. And I think it's cool to even do some descending on easier days. And you obviously don't have to descend to like fast, like sprinting pace, but it's still like shifting through the gears a little bit too. And just seeing how your body is doing. And even you can do it like 2x3, 2x350s, descend 1 through 3. Like you don't have to descend like 1 through 6. Um, yeah, you could do it either way, and I feel like both is good. So yeah,
No,
I
that's
think
a
it's
great
cool.
point. I give 450s a lot in warm up, like descend 1 to 4 to like 80%.
Hmm.
And kind of like on easier days, you're like, oh, okay, let's warm up a little bit and then we'll kind of go back down. But 80% for 150 is, it's not really 80%, right? I mean, you kind of have that speed, but it's just like you said, you're kind of moving through the gears, but it's more of just to wake your body up more than anything. And I think that can be important on these recovery days. You don't have to just go completely easy the whole time. I mean, if you're trash, go float. But if it's just kind of an easier swim, like just move a little bit in a little different ways, kind of activate, keep yourself, yeah, active. So you're not like, if you go easy, you might feel sluggish, but those 650s at the start might kind of make you feel, oh, I'm feeling actually not bad, but I'm still gonna keep it easy.
Yeah, and swimming a little bit faster will help you find a bit of efficiency sometimes. So it could actually make the set easier because you're swimming more efficiently. And when you're not fighting the water as much and you're moving through smoothly, it's easy, you know? That's why like
100%.
good swimmers make it look so easy. Like when they're swimming super fast is because they're just so gosh darn efficient. It doesn't even look like they're trying.
Yep. And little warm-ups like this, like you might feel like you feel bad, and then you kind of work through a little bit of warm-up, like, oh, I'm feeling okay. And it might just change your whole mindset, and then you might enjoy the swim more. So it's all just so related.
Hmm.
So yeah, wise words for sure.
Yeah.
So the main set is just it says float around for 2K and try not to drown. 120-ish, dot, 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 I guess. So it's kind of a funny word from this athlete and their coach. Um, we'll give you guys a little bit more structure. We'll kind of give you maybe like a 1400, 1500 yard set to do.
Yeah, for sure. And I got this set from a triathlete, Jack, on the waterfall racing tri team. Shout out to them. And he's out of Boulder, Colorado. So he obviously knows what he's doing if he lives in Boulder. I mean, like every triathlete out there knows what's up. So I talked to him and he's like, yeah, I actually like did a set, like some hundreds, 50s and stuff like that. So we're just gonna give a little more direction for you guys so you have a nice chill recovery swim. But yeah, Greg, tell us what it is.
Okay, so we're gonna go 7 rounds of 50, 50, 100. For some reason, I'm like obsessed with 50, 50, 100. We did it growing up, and like I always like it, and I like writing it for people. I think it's just easy to wrap your head around too. Um, so let's see. The first 50, we're gonna go 25 back, 25 free. And like we say, we harp on it a lot. The backstroke is just good. I think it's just good to practice the breathing, kind of open up that front side of your body, especially if you like to bike and run a lot. Second 50 choice. And if you want to mix in a little bit of drill or a little bit of kick, do some breaststroke as Nate would want to do. That's
I
great.
love breaststroke. I love breaststroke, you guys. I'm not great at it. Actually, I was swimming with Tyler Mislachuk in Verona one time, and we were doing breaststroke in the warm up, and his coach was like, "Nate, you're pretty good at breaststroke." And I was like, "Thanks, man. Thanks."
Still holding on to it, I see. No.
Still holding on to it for sure. And yeah, I got smoked on the freestyle, but hey, my breaststroke in the warm up, Someone said it looked good.
When someone tells you you look good, it's amazing. There's this guy at the pool that I swim with, and he was like, "Hey, what's up, Mr. Porpoise? How you doing today?" And I was like, "What?"
He calls you a porpoise.
Mr. Porpoise. I was like,
Oh my
this guy's
gosh.
hilarious. He's just like, I don't even belong in the same pool as you. So yeah, it's nice to get gassed up by the old people sometimes too, or anyone
Yeah.
who's complimenting your strokes. Um, anyways, back to the set. So it's
Yeah.
50, 50, and then 100, we just said kind of steady freestyle. You
Hmm.
know, when you do a set like this and the intervals are just chill, take 10 or 15 seconds kind of between it all. If you don't even want to look at the clock, this is probably a good day for it and move through. Um, I mean, it's almost like just do choice. Like what seems good for you. I think people need to take sometimes triathletes and stuff are so like type A and like they want to be told what to do, but you also need to learn to just like, hey, if I give you 3K choice, you need to be creative enough to just come up with something on your own. Like that is an important skill because everything is not going to be planned in a race. Like you're going to have
Hmm.
to adapt on the fly. So, when a coach is like, "Oh, I'll float around for 2K," it's like, yeah, I wouldn't give that to someone all the time, but once in a while where they kind of have to like, "Oh," and then you can kind of see what the athlete, "Oh, I did this. Oh, it's something they like to do." So, um, yeah, I think it can be beneficial.
Yeah. I pretty much feel like all my sets, I just float around for 2K. That's all I'm doing. I
Yeah.
just show you. I joke with people though. I'm like, oh, what are you doing today? I'm like, just gonna stare at a black line for an hour and a half. Same thing I do every day. But yeah, no, I think that's good. And yeah, this would be a great set to have an analog clock by the pool. So you like don't actually know what your time is. You just kind of like glance over, you see like, oh, I'm leaving on the blue arrow. That this would be a great workout for that. But yeah, it's just chill, you guys. This is a chill set for you. It's it's mellow and like Greg said, like have fun, like mix it up on that 50 choice, and then yeah, I guess goes into 425s underwater, which I kind of like. I think that's fun, a little challenging, you know. You could do it however you want. If you struggle with it, you can even throw on fins to help you like get there the first time, and then
Mm,
once you get a little bit better, you can take the fins off and see how you go, and then 200 easy. This is solid.
yeah. No, I like that. 425 is underwater. It's like, yes, that's hard, but when you do underwaters, you should probably stay as relaxed as you can, right? So you're not burning through your oxygen stores. So it's like this might test your lungs a little bit, but it's not going to physically like wear you down at all. And sometimes yeah, we need to wake up our lungs a bit. I mean, swimming is just so much about how you're breathing, to hold yourself up and practicing getting massive amounts of air in your lungs and then holding that air is so important. That's literally floating. That's what swimming is, right? It's like you want to have the most amount of air in your lungs at all times. So this is good. And one other point, when I get in the pool every day, it's like I do sets that I feel like doing.
Hmm.
It's like that's kind of more like, have some ownership in what you're gonna do. If like, hey, if 50s fast sound fun to you that day, it's like go for it. Like nothing is so important that's like, well, coach told me to do 100s and then I broke it into 50. So like the workout's ruined. Like there's nothing matters that much. So it's about the general themes over time of improving, not the specific one moment snapshots. So just my thought on that, I guess.
I agree with that. And I also coach some athletes and I throw in recovery swims and stuff, and sometimes they skip them, and I it makes me a little sad because those recovery swims are important because like Greg said, it's about the consistency over time, and the more you show up in the water and the more frequently you're swimming, I feel like you're opening yourself up to unlock something in your stroke, you know? Because if you just show up to the pool once a week and you swim super hard and like that's like your routine, you're just going to be there less in the water. So you're just not going to have as many opportunities to like fine tune your stroke. And that's what the best swimmers we've talked about this before. If you haven't listened to our episode with Kyle, two-time Olympic trial swimmer and casual triathlete, um, he talks about how he's found a good stroke for himself. Not like, oh, I smashed this many hundreds, hidden 52s or whatever. He's like, yeah, I found a stroke that like really works for me. And that's what it's all about.
Yep, I've never seen two strokes that are the same. I've seen tens of thousands of people swim, and they could be similar, but no one's the same.
Yeah.
I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do for the hot take today, but now that we've talked about some underwaters, I'm just going to go out and say the hot take. If you don't practice doing underwaters, you will just not reach your swim potential.
Thanks for listening, you guys. Have a good one. Share this episode with your friends. See ya.
That's it. Cheers.